Hello and welcome to Dark Side of the Library. I'm your host, Carrie Carolyn, and I wanted to mention that my co-host Katie won't be able to be here this month. She is working full-time, has a new job, and she is also going to college, summer school, etc. So she won't be able to join us, but hopefully she'll be back soon. Today we're talking about dark, horror, gothic, dark fantasy, etc. books that are coming out in July 2024, fiction for adults. Now, I haven't read any of these books. I didn't get any advance copies, so I'm just letting you know about the books that I've been researching that are coming out and look really cool. If you are listening to this as a podcast, welcome. And for the rest of you, you're watching it on YouTube or checking it out via our blog. We have affiliate links in the YouTube description and in our blog posts, so you can go check out these books. Let's start with the first one I wanted to talk about, Memories of the Lost. It's by Barbara O'Neill. Months after her mother dies, an artist sees a painting in a gallery that makes her lightheaded and dizzy. A handsome stranger, I think I remember his name is Liam, that's a sexy name, he comes over to help her, and she immediately falls in love with him, or at least is intrigued by him. He's not sticking around for very long. I'm not sure what's going on. Later on, she discovers a document in her dead mother's papers that makes her realize her whole life has been a lie. I hate when that happens. She enters often into a fugue state. So she's not, she's kind of blurry, dizzy, and just not sure what's going on. She's hallucinating. She finds a lead to the original painting that started this all, and in the process she retreats to a remote seaside village to try to discover the source of her uncanny inspirations. Wow, it's kind of a hot mess, but I'm kind of tempted. What do you think? That's Memories of the Lost by Barbara O'Neill, and it comes out in July. Oops, I don't have the date, sorry. The next book is Midnight Rooms. It's by Donyae or Donyae. It's from the publisher Amistad. It comes out July 2. Midnight Rooms is set in 1840s England, where the orphaned daughter of a white man and a black woman is offered marriage by a wealthy stranger. She's living with her uncle, and her uncle's kind of excited to get her married off. So she accepts the opportunity, and she's whisked off to the man's surprisingly decaying family manor. I mean, he's wealthy. Why aren't you keeping your house up? The servants are skittish, which kind of made me think of the Nicole Kidman movie The Others at that point. Anyway, she's never allowed to be outside unaccompanied. Her husband is kind, yay, but she begins getting drowsy at dinners, not just because she ate too much, by the way. She's having macabre nightmares, and she wakes up hearing screams in the night, as we all do when we go to creepy, decaying manors in England, but whatever. In the morning, she's finding bruises on her body. So she obviously wants to find out what is going on. I'm very intrigued by this book. I'm probably going to pick it up. It's Midnight Rooms by Donyae, and it comes out July 2. The next book I could not be more excited about, The Moonlight Market by Joanne Harris. She wrote Chocolat and The Girl Without a Shadow, The Lollipop Shoes, etc. It's kind of contemporary, country fantasy with magic. Anyway, this book is by Pegasus Books. It comes out July 2. This book is set in London, where a young orphaned photographer named Tom walks around the city photographing interesting things like someone drinking coffee or whatever. He meets Vanessa and knows she's not the villain from the Little Mermaid movie. He is very intrigued by Vanessa and she's beautiful, blah, blah, blah. He follows her into a mysterious secret alternate world that's hiding in plain sight on the streets and rooftops of London. I'm already in. I'm gonna buy this book. It sounds really cool, but it gets better. This mysterious secret hidden world is inhabited by strange, colorful beings who are at war with each other. One is nocturnal beings, and the other are beings that live in the light. What? This sounds like an amazing read. It's The Moonlight Market by Joanne Harris. It comes out July 2. The next book is, I'm not sure it's very dark, but I was intrigued when I found out. So let me know what you think. It's My Mother Cursed My Name. It's a novel by Annameli Salgado Reyes. Atria Books is the publisher. It comes out July 30. Felicitas finally meets her estranged grandmother. Yay! She's been wanting to, but her grandmother turns out to be cold and strict. Oh, and by the way, dead. The grandmother decides the only way she can cross over and get to where she's supposed to be going is to make sure that her daughter, Felicitas' mother, is in a better place in life, like with her work and her husband, her relationships with God, etc. So she wants to stick around to help her daughter, and the only person who can hear the dead grandmother is the granddaughter, Felicitas. I'm intrigued. It might not be super dark, but I wanted to mention it in case it kind of called to you. It's My Mother Cursed My Name by Annameli Salgado Reyes. Comes out July 30. The next book is called Nicked, and it has a skull on the cover. It's by M.T. Anderson. The publisher is Knopf Doubleday. It comes out July 23. Nicked is set in Italy in 1087, where a pox is sweeping through the city. You know, we've all just kind of gone through that, right? A lowly monk is visited by St. Nicholas, from Christmas apparently, anyway, before he became Santa Claus. He's visited in his dreams, and St. Nicholas wants him to help him with something. And then a charismatic treasure hunter seeks the monk's help. I need help to steal a mysterious liquid from St. Nicholas's grave so I can cure the plague. What? I definitely want to check this out. It's Nicked, as in like stolen, by M.T. Anderson. It comes out July 23. The next book I wanted to mention, I'm going to try to read about this without laughing, you guys. I'm trying really hard to take this seriously. It's called Pink Slime. It's by Fernanda Trias. Scribner is the publisher. It comes out July 2. It's a dystopian read, so I'm already pretty much in. Well, an algae bloom has poisoned the air, and a city is ravaged by plague. Well, that kind of sounds like Seattle. Anyway, a mysterious corporation is making the only food that people can safely eat. No, it's not Soylent Green. It's a disgusting pink paste made out of who knows what. It's pink slime. And our protagonist is a woman who's struggling to stay and survive in the city and keep her few tenuous relationships with neighbors and friends, etc. alive. I think I would book the heck out of there, but that's just me. This is Pink Slime by Fernanda Trias, and I'm going to give it a try because I'm very, very intrigued. The next book is State of Paradise. It is by Laura Vanderberg. The publisher is Farrar Straus Giroux. I hope I said that right. July 9 is the publication date. In Florida, a mysterious illness arrived, made people sick, and then disappeared. And no, it was not COVID. Weird things start happening, and Florida's already having trouble with heat and wildfires and hurricanes, the usual. Well, a company called Electra starts handing out a mind-bending virtual reality device. And our protagonist is a ghostwriter for a thriller author, and they start noticing weird things happening, blah, 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 and then her sister disappears after a violent rainstorm. That's about all I wanted to say about this book because I don't want to spoil any of the plot. That's State of Paradise by Laura Vanderberg, and it comes out July 9. Next, I have a picture in here that doesn't belong here. Oh, interesting. Well, I'm not going to be able to show you the rest of the book covers because somehow... Oh, maybe I can. Okay, I'll just have to look for them. Excuse me. We're going to look at the West Passage while we talk about Toward Eternity. It's by Anton Hur. Harper Via is the publisher. Comes out July 9. In a near future world, a new therapy is eradicating cancer. Yay. And they do it by replacing the body's cells completely with nanites, like little tiny, almost invisible robots that live in your body. Well, a man in the book, a character, who has received nanotherapy, suddenly vanishes into thin air and then comes back just as surprisingly out of the blue. But when they come back, they're changed. And they're kind of a different type of being. And it's happened to other people too, and they're known as nanohumans, and they thrive and begin to replicate. So this sci-fi book is kind of going to explore what really makes a human, or a person, or artificial intelligence, etc. It is called Toward Eternity by Anton Heuer, and it comes out July 9. And their last name is spelled H-U-R because I just mumbled, sorry. The next book is We Burn Daylight, and I did manage to find the cover of this one to show you over on YouTube. It's by Brett Anthony Johnson. It comes out July 30. It's actually kind of a romance. It's star-crossed lovers fiction, and it's based on a true story that happened at the Branch Davidian cult compound in Waco, Texas, which some of you might not be old enough to remember, that wacky thing that took over. TV was talking about it for months, it seems like. So this is We Burn Daylight by Brett Anthony Johnston, and that's about all I know about it, is that it's about two people falling in love while they're cultees at the Branch Davidian compound. The next book I wanted to talk about, you've now seen the cover several times because I keep flipping to it accidentally, The West Passage. It's by Jared Pachasik. It comes out from Tor.com on July 16. And the publisher description is so good, I honestly just copied it instead of summarizing it in my own words because it's so beautiful, and I want to read it completely to you. When the guardian of the West Passage died in her bed, the women of Grey Tower fed her to the crows and went back to their chores. No successor was named as guardian. No one took up the fallen blade. The West Passage went unguarded. Now snow blankets Grey Tower in the height of summer, foretelling the coming of the beast. The too young mother of Grey House and the guardian's unnamed squire set out to save their people. It sounds like an intriguing dark fantasy. I'm in. That's The West Passage by Jared Pachasik. Next, let me see if I can find the picture of the cover for you as I'm digging around on my computer. There it is. It's Wilderness Reform. It's by Matt Query and Harrison Query. Atria Books is the publisher. It comes out July 2. When naughty 13-year-old Ben is sent to a remote wilderness reform program, like some people I know and my cousin, and anyway, he immediately senses an undercurrent of menace in the two cheerful counselors. He and the other boys in his cabin team up to make it out alive. Now, this kind of sounds like a YA book, but it's not. And I've seen people talking about wilderness reform on Bookstagram. I haven't looked on Book Talk. So far, people are enjoying it. So I'm kind of tempted. It's a good summer read because it's about summer camp, blah, blah, blah. It's Wilderness Reform by Matt Query and Harrison Query. It comes out July 2. And the final book I wanted to talk about, I do not have a book cover of, okay, because I forgot to add it like a dork. Pardon me. It's The X-Files Perihelion. It's by Claudia Gray. The publisher is Hyperion Avenue, and it comes out July 30. And if you're not caught up on X-Files books, fast forward 30 seconds because there's a spoiler if you haven't read the last one. Mulder and Scully, I'm giving you a chance to fast forward. Here we go. They're still reeling from the death of their son, William. Meanwhile, the FBI calls to ask their help finding a serial killer in Washington, D.C. I love serial killer books, but not as much as Katie does. The serial killer is targeting pregnant women. Well, okay, the FBI chases serial killers all the time. Why is this different? Why do they need the X-Files? Why do they need Mulder and Scully? Well, because the serial killer has an uncanny power of electricity. And that's all I can tell you. So that's The X-Files Perihelion by Claudia Gray. It comes out July 30, 2024. That is it for our dark adult fiction for the month of July 2024. The next episodes I'm going to do are dark children's books and dark YA books and dark nonfiction books, all coming out in July. I typically publish Dark Side of the Library episodes on Wicked Wednesdays, Freaky Fridays, so stay tuned Be sure to hit like, subscribe, leave us a review, all that good stuff, because it helps other dark readers find us, especially if you could leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening. You can find us at Dark Side of the Library on just about all the social platforms, and I'll see you in the next episode.